Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro Ruiz.
Good morning, everybody. Pedro's creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
And delicious cups of coffee.
Yes.
That's right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to episode 413. Today is September 13th, 2023. Wow, I'm way off. And we welcome everybody to the show. We're hanging out in all the chats, Facebook, in whatever in is, LinkedIn,
Yes.
YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. I'm rusty for some reason.
I think the X is pronounced like a sh.
G. Yeah, we're also on Discord. Let me bring that up. Oh, that's not. Give me a second. I have the. Oh man,
I'm right here. I'm right here.
All right, you got it. Great, thanks. Tell everybody hello on Discord.
Good morning, everybody hanging out. We are giving shout outs to everyone hanging out in the chat. We got DeWester, Paul Cutler, Squid.jpg, Cup of Coffee, my favorite name.
Coffee.
Roslyn.
Cup of coffee. More coffee.
3 Ricks, 3RIXXX on YouTube. Also hanging out, like you said, on the Twitch, Periscope, and Instagram. Not Instagram. LinkedIn. Good morning, everybody hanging out all over the world.
Hello. We'll give you more shout outs as we get through the show. Feel free to add any comments, questions, all that in the Discord and the other channels. Hello. We'll go ahead and kick it off with the housekeeping stuff we do every beginning of the show. Let's take a look. We got new stuff on the adafruit.com/free page. If you spend more money with Adafruit, you're going to get some freebies. Let's go through the orders, the tiers. If your order is $99 or more, you get a free PCB coaster with the golden Adafruit logo. If your order is $149 or more, you'll get the PCB coaster plus an Adafruit KB2040. That's that lovely dev board for making keyboards. If your order is $199 or more, you get the KB2040, the PCB coaster, and free ground shipping from UPS. That's in the continental US only. Excuse me. And then if your order is $299 or more, you get an Adafruit Metro M7. It's a collab board with DigiKey. That's why it's red. But you also get the free UPS ground shipping, the KB2040 dev board, and the PCB coaster. Adafruit.com/free for all the details. All of these get automatically added to your cart. No need for coupon codes. Speaking of a coupon code, today's coupon code is right here. It's Tombstone. Gets you 10% off your order of all physical goods in the Adafruit shop. So if you want to pick up some stuff, support the show, support the many awesome people sponsored by Adafruit, use the coupon code to Tombstone. All right. And that brings us to the show. We have this week's project. Have a little bit of prototyping further into the future or into the past, depending on, what you think of the future. We have some shop talk. We have community makes and a Timelapse Tuesday.
All right. Just taking some care of some more housekeeping stuff. Just got an email from PT. There will be no Ask an Engineer.
Oh, this just
tonight. Yeah, we got some remote folks
I see it.
in, so we're taking care of them and some other stuff going around in the office. So just show and tell, I believe, with either Liz or JP. But Ask an Engineer will be back next week.
Yeah.
Little real time.
Yeah, real time. We literally just got it.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's project. This week's project is an interactive tombstone. Whoa, double me.
Yep, W.
Tombstone.
I couldn't hear you. I had to bring you back in. If you wanted to do a full screen, we'll just do this.
Oh,
and then we can hear you.
Was it the microphone?
No, it's when you isolate the thing or when you remove yourself, you can't hear that audio.
Ah.
So you just have to click on the full screen button.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so yeah, so this is an update to last year's Matrix Tombstone. So one of the updates on it is that we're having it run a PropMaker RP2040, so it can run the Matrix and the Servo and LEDs, as well as a time of flight sensor. This is the L35 L4 CD distance sensor, of course, coded by the very awesome Liz. She did a great job doing it. Some interactivity. So as soon as you walk up close to it, sensor's hidden right between his legs right here. It'll sense and it'll trigger the crow, raven, bird. So triggers the bird to go off, and then there is a speaker in the back, but because it's so loud, I disconnected it. So we have that going. We have the Matrix display going. So a lot of cool stuff that's being run all by the PropMaker RP2040.
Wow. Yeah, it's a fully featured Tombstone this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Did you mention NeoPixels? Like NeoPixels sound?
Oh, yeah, there's NeoPixels or sound. So there's NeoPixels inside of the styrofoam Tombstone, and then as well as the Raven Bird guy.
Raven Bird guy
right here, yeah. You kind of see the LEDs in there. So it flashes red and green. That does a nice little pulse. If I remove his head, you can see how that's all mounted. There's the LEDs right there, and then we have a nice little servo horn made out of some foam core.
That's great.
Yeah, so that just slips on like that. And of course, we had to make it super creepy with having it turn 180 degrees.
Yeah.
So have a nice little creepy effect. Nicely hidden. Everything connects to the back of the Tombstone. And quick look of what that looks like. So we flip this around. You can see how everything is inset. So I use a wire foam cutter to build all of the little component recesses. So everything just press fits in. This is a pretty thick foam core or foam Tombstone. So we had plenty of room to make like recesses for the Matrix. Goes in like that. It's nicely framed out. And then all the wiring. And then you even have little spaces for, you even create these little covers made out of just foam core that keeps all the components in place. So everything is a nice little crafty construction. The only 3D printing that we had to do was for the bird, which of course you could just find one of the Halloween decoration birds. But of course it does have to be hollowed out so you can add the electronics in there. So that's the reason why I printed it. And yeah, this is I believe it's a fairly common Tombstone at Spirit Halloween. So we got lucky. I think this was a model from last year. So they did a really good job of mass producing these. It's only like $25. So definitely affordable for having these as decorations. And yeah, very easy to work with. I'm just using a wire cutter to make all of the cutouts for it. And yeah, what else we can say about that guy?
Yeah, I like the Tombstone. It's a really big Tombstone for $25.
Yeah,
styrofoam is relatively easy to work with, so you can cut your channels out. You picked a really good one because it has a lot of space. It's like the perfect size for the display. It's a 32 by 64 RGB LED display with the 4mm pitch. So it's like the biggest display you can get. So it fits perfectly in there. A piece of black acrylic, diffuses it, but the code is written so you can update the text, you can update the color, you can update the speed of the text scrolling. You only get one font. I think it's kind of like a default font, but you could do some extra code and like make a bitmap scroll through or something like that.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, you can have full graphics if you want. We just wanted to stick with the simplicity of display IO, so you can do whatever text. I think for an example we use would be like a lot of folks here in the States, they like to do like a candy bowl with like a cardboard and a Sharpie text that says like, just take one, please, be considerate. Now you can have it say that and scare the people, be like, I'm watching you, please take one, or I will haunt you. You can get real creative with this type of project and modify it. It doesn't have to be a Tombstone. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a crow. It can be anything that you want it to spin. Maybe you can have something pop out when a person gets near it. So we think it's a really good kind of all around interactive piece for your Halloween haunt.
Yeah, all the pieces there to completely customize it, like you were said, with different like triggers for the servo, and then code wise, you can add more stuff on there. Like you were saying, if the sensor is triggered, you can have the text change around. That's something you'd have to add on there. It's not the default code, but all of the libraries and everything is there for you to go ahead and add any of that. One of the other ideas that we had, of course, after we're done with it, is one of the other triggers that would be cool is if the relay could trigger setting off one of the fog machines. So a little bit more of interactivity. You can definitely add more like LEDs to stuff. So everything could be like a scene, like a little graveyard scene could be powered by just these two boards.
Yeah, I just had an idea. If you want to get really mechanical and clever, you could use the servo to actually dispense candy. So you can open a door to let candy fall out of something.
Yeah.
So you can have all these elements, the NeoPixels, the text and the display. The sound effects can be customized to whatever.
It's a good idea.
A lot of cool stuff. Yeah. So it's pretty
it's
cool.
Funny how the ideas flow out after you've already
after you've seen it.
Sort of like the initial project.
Yeah, but that's the point of these projects, is to have a starting point. Like, what's a minimal viable, not too complicated to build and reproduce. So it's definitely easy to build, reproduce. Yeah, you might have some of these parts already. So definitely consider maybe reusing them or retrofitting something like we did here. So Pedro, you got the Learn Guide this week. You put it together. And shout out to Liz, of course, for coming up with the code page and really working with us to make the code happen. Yeah, tell us about the Learn Guide.
Yeah, so a quick little synopsis on the Learn Guide, what it does, the interactivity with the Tombstone, and of course the hero in this are the boards, the PropMaker RP2040 and the RGB Matrix FeatherWing. So those sandwich right on top of each other, and then
this was
directly into the Matrix display.
This was Lamar's idea. We weren't originally going to have an RGB display, but Lamar's like, why don't you add that to show that folks can have feather wings with the PropMaker Feather? And it was like, oh yeah, of course we can do this. We have really good display IO library support for working with an RGB matrix. Just about any of them in the Adafruit shop will work. It's easy to set it up. You can see in the code. But yeah, it's a really good add-on to a prop to have this really nice, display that has, RGB LEDs, and it's relatively big. You could chain them together, but for this one, we just needed one because it's big enough. So
yeah, you're right. I forgot to mention that you could chain these together and have, like we were saying, having a whole graveyard scene of multiple things all being run by one board.
Yeah. All right. Parts.
Yep, just a synopsis of that, showing like how everything is embedded. And then, of course, the parts. We are restocking the PropMaker soon. We got the FeatherWing kit, the 64 by 32 matrix display using the 4mm pitch, the VL53L 4CD time of flight distance sensor, which is all stemma, so that just plugs right in. Speaker, and some of the button NeoPixels. Nice little small PCB ones that'll fit inside almost anything.
Yeah, these are great.
To power this entire circuit, we're using the 5-volt, 4-amp switching power display. Definitely want to pick
supplies. Power supply.
Yeah. The black LED diffusion acrylic panel, the one labeled here, is already cut for you. We do have like a square size if you want to do some custom cuts for that. Like if you want to combine them together, I guess. The micro servo, it's just a cheapo SG92 servo. Servo for extension cable, so you can easily disconnect and reconnect things, especially for storing away after the holidays. We're using the 2-pin plug headers, the socket headers, the 3-pin socket, and the 3-pin plugs. So this is going to be for your speakers. so you can easily disconnect the speaker. The 3-pin will be for the LEDs and the servo. And then the silicone coated ribbon cable, so you can have a nice bit of flexibility with your components. And then the conduits, wire conduits, the split loom tubing, so you can easily hide all of the cables that are coming out of the bird. And then the gargoyle tombstone is in stock, and you can just buy it online. But these, I've seen them at all of the Spirit locations in the little tombstone section area.
It's
like I was saying, yeah, it's like, $25, and yeah, $24.99.
3.5 feet. It's
yeah,
pretty
this
big.
is what it originally looks like, or what it looks like before you go in there. And it is so maker friendly. Like you were saying in the intro, look at all this space that you have to work with. And this is the thing that caught my eye when I was looking for something. Doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be a gravestone or a tombstone, just something where you can, have this area to play with. And that might have been the intention, where you could go in there and carve in your own name and text and all that.
Yeah.
There are a couple of different tombstones that are in that way, where you can just chop off some of the default text that's already in there. I think the other one that I got was
the rest in peace one. Looks cool. Yeah, that way you can have like a portrait view of it.
Exactly.
You could really go crazy and like make it look like a portal, like animate some video. I think we have some sort of bitmap sprite sheet support, which we did that last year.
Yeah.
So you could combine those codes to have maybe a bitmap sprite sheet play, depending on. And I got another idea. Like it just keep coming with.
I know they just come when.
It's the time of flight sensor knows exactly how far away something is, so you can specifically say the closer you are, the different thing you get, the brighter it gets, the louder it gets. Further away, you can adjust it on that, so you can have different tiers of closeness, of distance, because it's not just like your cheapo run of the mill PIR sensor, proximity sensor. Like this thing knows how far you are, so you can display all sorts of fun stuff. You can even display how far you are. It could be like you are 10 feet away, you are 12 feet away.
Oh man,
super gnarly. Yeah. So here's the last year, so you can see here we can have like really good kind of GIF animation style animations with the RGB displays.
So if you need any more additional ideas for construction of this, here is another one. But this is using the Matrix portal, so this would be just one single board. I don't think you'd be able to run all of the other stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it has.
This is so way.
What do you call it? The amp, like the amp isn't built in, so if you wanted to have audio, you got to think about that. So depending on what you want, we have all sorts of different boards to do this, but the PropMaker combined with the Matrix FeatherWing is really what this one was about.
Yeah, really showing the power that you can plug in all these components and still play your wanted features for it. Jimming in the circuit diagram, it's pretty easy. Everything, because of the terminal blocks, just plugs right in. It is such a pleasure to use these with those quick socket and plug disconnects as well.
Yeah,
aiding in like distancing, so you can disconnect it closer to all of the components, so you don't have like these long cables that you have to store along with it. So the speaker, the NeoPixels are sharing the NeoPixel ports on there, or terminal spots. The servo plugs right in, and there's headers already on the board that you plug into. And then the time of flight sensor is stemma, so that just plugs in as well. And this little pretty easy little detail on how all that works. Liz did an excellent job of writing all the code and sort of splitting it all up so you can get in detail. This is how to install your CircuitPython. When you get the board, definitely want to get the latest. Usually when these come in, it's like in Arduino, so you want to get CircuitPython installed on there.
Yep.
Moving on over to the code. nice little breakdown of how everything is working if you scroll down. But this is the whole chunk of the code, which of course you can just get the project bundle. You click on this button, it'll download all of the sound effects that are used in the project that you can swap out and then just easily, change out the names from, I think, in here.
Yep.
And then the servo, like how you want those to go, like the brightness, how many NeoPixels are going on in there, the audio level for it, the distance for it to trigger,
Yep.
color for your text, a bunch of editable parameters that are nicely commented in there. And like we were saying, all the breaking everything down for all the specifics, like the matrix board, the sound effects, how that's being triggered. NeoPixel, Servo, excellent job on having all that spelled out. Let's see, moving on to 3D printing. Like you were saying before, this is just a bird that's hollowed out. Shout outs to, I think it was Damien. Well, actually, this is a remix of one of his birds here. So all I did was take it inside of Mesh Mixer and hollow out the entire body, because I don't think this one was hollowed out. No, it wasn't. Oh no, did he? Yeah.
Maybe there's versions of it.
Yeah, he didn't upload the hollowed one, but we have it on the Adafruit Thingiverse profile, and it's linked as a remix. So find that. But you can just get it off of ours. It's like 3 shells, so nice and light, so the servo won't have trouble moving the head. And then no supports, everything just.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's
just
really
need
nice.
a brim to hold everything together, because it is all hollowed out. So it was just the body, and then I did hollow out the eyes as well, so the LEDs will shine through.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically it. Like we were saying before, you can just get like a crow from Spirit as well. Try to use that. See, moving on to the assembly of that, the very first step that I want to point out is to remove the tape cover from the distance sensor. I was getting some weird readings with the Kapton tape being on there, like the audio would just keep looping over and over. So the very first step is remove the tape cover.
Yeah, it doesn't see through the tape.
Yeah,
the tape is there to protect it. Yeah, maybe it helps with picking and placing. Like it lets you suction.
There's definitely something for transport to keeping it, so it doesn't get scratched or whatever.
No.
Let's see, moving on to the power cable for the Matrix. I did have to shorten this out, and the way that it comes, there's like 2 of these plugs together. I just cut the other one off. That's if you're going to daisy chain them together. So I'll be using this. I wanted to make sure that all the wiring was nice and neat, so I just shortened that. Make sure you measure the distance it's going to be required when you plug in your FeatherWing. And then the assembly for that here is how the plug in together. The Feather is going to have the socket headers on the bottom, and then on the RGB FeatherWing, I would have the pin headers pointing up, a little sandwiched together. And then the Hub 75, the included plugs to go onto the Matrix displays, you have either a socket or a plug. You want to use the socket version, so that goes directly into the Hub 75 Matrix display. So that's how that'll plug in.
Yeah, it's like acting as a mount too. So no need for screwing in the board anywhere. Just uses the socket as a means of mounting, which is really clean. Like, this is a really clean build. I like that you reduced the cable and shortened it up. Like, it looks really clean.
Yeah,
so there is some soldering required in that part, but if you splice wires, you're gonna have to do that. I think you should do this just to kind of keep it.
The other option is you could like coil things around, and the framing for the PCB. There is a little bit of gap in here, so you can insert wires in between the PCB and this frame, and sort of coil your wires and have some sort of have them tucked and be neat that way. So that's the other option if you don't want to cut them, but then after a while you will run out of that gap room. Are you keeping an eye on the Discord? Anybody?
Yeah, nobody's said anything. Just good morning to DJ Devin and Jan Isku, Johnny
now.
as well, just saying hello.
Okay, I'm seeing like spammy stuff, but it might be coming from somewhere else. Oh, it's YouTube, of course.
Yep.
Let's see, going on to yeah. So we're using the wireform cutter to cut out a display. I did upload a template that you can 2D print out, tape
nice.
on to your foam core, and then trace it out.
Yeah, that's actually handy.
Yeah, super handy because I had to build it to make sure because there's no you got to measure 3 times, then cut once.
Yeah,
there's no way to. I didn't want to go out and get another one if I messed up. So there's a stroke around the outline for the frame. The outer outline will be the size of the entire width of the display. The inner stroke is so you can create this recess so that it can just plop in without going all the way through. So you have this like nice little framing that'll be made out of the foam. I'm trying to scroll in the wrong window here. And then we're using the black LED acrylic. We're using the pre-cut one. That'll get inserted first. The matrix display goes next, so it'll be nicely diffused. Moving on to building the eyes, just measure the distance between wherever you want to put the eyes in. And we're using this cable here that is it has like 3 wires coming out of it, but it's bundled into this. I think it's like a 28 gauge.
Sure. Yeah.
Cable wire.
Is it a USB extension cable that you cut, or just...
No? This is just a custom one you can find on Amazon.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a 3-pin one and I have a 4-pin one.
Word.
So I don't have to use so much ribbon cable.
Right. Yeah, and it's nicely insulated.
The ribbon cable I use just for the LEDs, so you can have a nice amount of like flexibility when mounting these. Yep. But then the rest, the extension is using this, the regular whatever plastic it's made out of. And then we're just using the cutting out where we want the eyes, and then one for the mouth where the speaker is going to go into. You can see this. I'm just I added the way it looks all like curvy like that is because I'm adding the strain relief for the cable is built in to the way that you cut out your recess for the wire. So just keep that in mind. So you have that built in to where it's being mounted. Same thing with the sensors. Just do your little cutout. And then we're doing a little cover for that as well. Just using, again, just crafting, pencil and paper, drawing out where things are, and then cutting it out. That extends to even building the servo horn. I could have gone into Fusion and spent all this time modeling stuff, or I could just literally put the servo down with a pencil and then trace it out the shape that I want. Yeah. So this shape is just the neck shape. So I just put the body down, trace out the neck, cut it in half, and then use the little bits of leftover foam core to create this little horn that'll fit the head.
Yeah, that's a really good material to work with. It's a bit spongy, so it can conform. It's forgiving.
Yeah,
and it takes no time to print.
Dude, it's
great. Yeah. So this is like the black coated poster board, foam core board.
So the foam core on the inside is nice and black as well. So just want to point that out as an option because I didn't want to sit there and spray paint, add another additional step. And when you're cutting out your servo little insert thing, make sure to cut out one for the wire as well, because that's what this little extension thing is there. And that is where we're going to mount. What is it? Move me to the top. And that is where that is going to mount. Whoa, what happened? Render.
Load, reload.
Let's see. Uh-oh. No.
I could see if I can load it.
There we go. Wait.
Okay, you got it? No.
No.
Really?
Internet's not down because...
Here you go.
Okay, there we go. All right, so that mounts in like so. The LEDs get press fit in there as well. So You're just making little circular cuts that'll allow it to press fit in. Oh, come on, Safari.
Too many windows.
Did you do the guide?
Yep, I got it. Where are we at? Servo horn?
Servo horn, yeah, right near the bottom.
Okay. So you got it put together.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, the wires will come out of the back, and that is where we're using our socket and plug extension cable, so you can easily disconnect that. So when we want to store this away, the bird, doesn't have all these wires dangling down by the tail. You scroll down a little bit. Here is where we're cleaning everything up with the cable conduits. Oh man, I think you got these when you were working at CompUSA.
Yeah, they're
all those years ago, dude. We finally used up all of the conduit.
Used all of it?
Yeah. Almost all of it. I think we still have a big old piece left, but that was the very last,
Yeah, it's good material, even for cosplaying. Kind of has this Borg Star Trek kind of look to it, but it's black, so if it blends in at night. I didn't even notice you don't even need the full tail of the Raven / Crow.
I know, and I was sitting there going, "Oh man, I need to cut a hole out of this tail." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, the camera's not." Yeah,
you didn't really see it.
Focused on it.
You really focused on the bird's body. Yeah. So that's good.
So that's a nice
conduit's great. Definitely use some for hiding cables and keeping them bundled.
Yeah, definitely take inspiration by, what was it, that animatronic at Spaceship Earth where they just turn the kid's head around because his face is missing.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's see. So that plugs in, and then if you scroll down, the very last step, you plug everything into the terminal connections, which makes it, again, such a pleasure.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the PropMaker. So the Servo has the pins. You just plug it in. The STEMMA QT port is standard now across all feathers. So that makes it super easy to plug in an I2C component. Yeah, man. So the the barrel jack plugs in for power, and it powers the feather too, right? You don't need 2 power supplies. It's just 1 power supply. Plugs into the wall, so you have all day, whenever, as long as you have power in the house. That's great.
And then since we're talking about the power too, one of the things for outside use, I just wanted to point this out since this is how we were filming, the Jackery, these guys.
Yeah, it's a nice big battery.
So yeah, it's enough amps or voltage or whatever it needs to power. I did try hooking up the fog machine. I think it'll work. It just it takes a while for it to heat up, so I wasn't sure if it was actually working or not, and I needed to get the shot, so I just plugged it into the wall. But I think you could run a fog machine off of there too.
Cool. Yeah, there's all sorts of batteries like that now these days. So it's cool. All right.
And I think that is it. All of the files are uploaded. The code's there to get.
Yeah, all the links are there.
We got plenty of time till Halloween.
Yeah, get thinking about it now, because Halloween comes so quick every year.
Yeah,
it's we're really on time here. Normally we would release something the first week of October, but I'm glad we're doing it right in September. All the crafts, all those craft stores are already stocked up with their Halloween stuff. Get to it now before, because once it becomes October, all the Christmas stuff comes out. Because that's just the way the cycle works here in the department stores. But hey, it's nice that you can get the thing online if you want to get this exact Tombstone, but you're free to.
But you probably have a spirit in whatever shopping area that's close by to your house.
Yeah, the meme, the kind of classic meme, is that any store that shuts down becomes a spirit Halloween. It's pretty funny. It's what happens. Even in the most fanciest of places, here in Massachusetts, we have this thing called the Patriots Place next to Gillette Stadium, and they have a vacant store that became a spirit Halloween. Super fancy. It's okay, cool.
What was there's a lot of money to be made in this Halloween culture, so not surprised.
Okay. You got a comment here from Mike Jones on YouTube. It says fog machines are like heaters.
Yes.
Way too much energy for a battery pack. Maybe the lowest powered ones, but not for long.
Yeah, again,
it do take a lot of
how long. It took a while for the fog machine to heat up, so I don't know if it would actually work or not on it.
Right. Maybe one of those humidifiers, but they don't create enough fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, the humidifier.
I'll try it out.
Little.
Yeah, I'll try it out. just because we don't want to, for Halloween, I don't want to run all this extension cable out there.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just be careful. Like, there's no weathering really here, weatherproofing.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah,
So
good.
be careful.
Yep,
Obviously,
there's no weathering.
I will say it. Like, it's been raining a lot here up in Massachusetts, but also across the states.
Yeah, make sure your sprinklers are turned off.
Yeah, turn off your sprinklers. Yeah, but I mean, as an indoor thing for an indoor haunt, perfect. You don't have to worry about weathering too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's all good stuff.
The other safety concern is cutting the styrofoam. Make sure you're outside.
Oh gosh, please
I
wear a
had
mask.
fans all over me, and I still got like I could still
no.
smell it, and did not feel the best
No,
after
yeah.
finishing.
Yeah, use those COVID masks to use. Like, bring this out. Use the.
I should have used the mask.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use it.
But I figured because I was outside, you know, I had 4 fans blowing on me.
Yeah, styrofoam is nasty, so just keep that in mind.
It was not good.
Yeah.
But
you can get wire cutters from Amazon or craft stores.
Yeah, we were thinking, I don't know if you could use an X-Acto. It might, like, just because of the way that the texture for the foam is, you know, it might like break off in little bits, but I don't know.
Yeah. Check into Discord. We got some updates from DJ Devin. He's got how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 displays.
Dang.
That's a lot.
Holy moly!
But hey, I like his 3D print brackets. That's a really good way to kind of utilize the M3 heat sets that are built into the frame. Really good use of them.
That's so good.
It's a really good idea. Yeah, that's the most I've ever seen. Outside of like an arcade, like
I was about to say, yeah, I was at which arcade, and the display is just this ginormous freaking panels of matrices all.
Yeah, I think it's Pac-Man, right, or something, or
it was Pac-Man and some other game that they had on there. But it was massive. It looks so good too. It like totally fits the arcade retro theme for it. You're using displays like this.
Devin, he's got a comment on like the audio recordings from the Gargoyle project or Tombstone. So those were I did those recordings, and I just lowered my pitch in like whatever software. It's supposed to be the word "I smell children," the phrase that's actually from the PG movie Hocus Pocus. Bette Midler, she's like, "I smell children." Or maybe it's Bette Midler. Somebody says she smells children.
I think it was
so that's where I got that from. It is a little concerning, but that's where the reference comes from. A very Disney movie, So he's joking around though.
Okay.
What else?
Yeah, it's one of those cliche.
Oh, that's funny. The raven sounds like it's like a real bird when it's moving. Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, the cable. Oh, yeah, you didn't notice the cable out of the tail until like the video pointed out. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never too early for Halloween. And there's some brackets here from Johnny on printables. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we'll check it out. We'll put it on the blog too, because that's a really useful thing to have brackets, especially like universal ones.
Oh, dude, I should have made one for this one.
Yeah, like some feet.
Of course, I ran out of time. Yeah, I mean where the stakes go, you can see what's actually holding it. It's your storm. What was the name of the hammer?
Doom hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. You could definitely add some 3D printed feet for that.
Yeah, for sure. It comes with stakes, I think, to like stake into the grass or whatever. But yeah, some feet would be nice. Yeah. But you can always use like an L bracket made out of metal and just like kind of bolt it to it, because you can just drill right into the styrofoam.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it already has the holes. I would attach it to the stakes that are on there.
That's so cool. So yeah, 9 matrices using the PyPortal S3. That's super cool. Yeah. So we'll see it tonight. And another Devin's brackets are also on printable. So awesome. Yeah, we'll share those definitely for tomorrow's 30th Thursday. Yeah, thank you for sharing those. Very cool. Oh yeah, that's a really cool idea. Mike Jones on YouTube. Be cool to have some image recognition AI. Maybe then the Tombstone could talk to you. Yeah, that's more like a Pi. I think like a Pi project, because then it has all the power to do that. But still, really cool idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe that'll be the update for next year.
Yeah, next year we're just gonna keep making these Tombstones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's move on to prototyping? Yeah. You want to prototype next?
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's prototypes.
All right, cool. I'm going to have to stop my screen. So the guitar will be next week's project. It's a Synth IO CircuitPython 3D printed guitar synth. Actually, Liz has it, and she's writing the code, finalizing the code for it right now. But yeah, we're going to talk about it next week. But in the meantime, I wanted to share an updated project that we're doing. It's a collab project with Phil B. You might remember this. Let me see if I can share my screen. I got to get the new screen share up here. I'm going to share my whole screen. And we're going to go in tunnel view for a little bit, but then we're in CAD mode. So this is Fusion 360. It's my CAD choice. This is HAL 9000 from the movie 2001 Space Odyssey from Stanley Kubrick. This was a Learn Guide prop that Phil B did, I think in like 2012 or something like that. We have a Learn Guide for it, but it used like some very legacy Arduino wave shield. Yeah, so we want to update this for the PropMaker Feather RP2040. So I'm coming up with this 3-piece enclosure. It's using these massive 100 millimeter arcade buttons that have a built-in LED, and then this nice 8 ohm speaker, and then of course the PropMaker. So I got the PropMaker here, and it's just a cool prop that you press the button and it'll play some samples from the movie 2001 A Space Odyssey. So I'm coming up with that. It'll be a fairly easy project because there's just like, everything gets wired in here. I think just a little bit of soldering on the button, but I'm coming up with a way to kind of make this giant. It's not super big, but it's bigger than my printer's print value. So I had to split it up into 3 parts. And I think we'll use like an inkjet printer to make the sticker. And yeah, I got a speaker grill. The original project from Phil B uses laser cut parts, but now these days makers are more likely to have a 3D printer than a laser. So it was Phil B's idea to kind of like go back and look at some of his classic props and see how we can revise those using the new PropMaker Feather. So that is what we're going to do. It'll probably be wall powered. There's plenty of room for a battery, but I think we'll have it plugged into the wall. I have a little USB-C hole here, but as you saw in the back there, these 3 pieces will be bolted together with M3 screws and hex nuts. This thing gets panel mounted. The button. It's a big button, but it's also looks just like the HAL eye lens or whatever. So that's what I'm working with. It's not like super screen accurate, mainly like the speaker, but I think it's good enough. Like the proportions are good enough. And that's what I'm working on. I have some components here. Let's get into that. And we'll look at my overhead here. Let me present an extra camera, use my camo camera, and bring that in. So these are the 100 millimeter buttons. It already looks like HAL. I'll probably reprint this in silver or paint it or something, but it's basically a giant arcade button. It's got a big chonk to it. You can see here kind of how it's actuating this micro switch. It's super maker friendly. Like this comes out, there's the LED. This has like a spring here, and then this can come out here. If you want to like completely change the bezel or anything, you can print it as well. But it's really nice.
Yeah, I think all you need is the bezel. Just press fit right on top.
Right. So I'll probably be printing this. It comes with
spray print it, but then you got to take all this.
Yeah, I'm in an apartment, and it's a little bit hard for me to kind of spray paint.
I don't want to. Even with space, I don't want to.
So I'll probably just reprint it, and then keep this internal part, and then use this piece here. But yeah, it's just a micro switch. Could probably use a those quick connects for this actually. That way I'm like saving a little bit. Yeah, and then it just has built-in LED. I think it has a built-in resistor. I'll see, but if not, you can add one. It's fine. But yeah, this is the main piece. This here is kind of hard to print, so that's why we got a nice button for that. It's just the right size for HAL, the eye. And then this is the speaker. I just got these parts in today, so it's a nice 8 ohm 1 watt speaker. So plenty of oomph. You got your mounting holes here that are M3, M4 sized. And yeah, so I got my parts, and I'll start working on that after the guitar synth project. So that'll be a fun one. And you know, it's an all around fun. Like you press the button and it randomizes the audio, so you can make a nice kind of Big Mac sound box kind of thing for the kids or whatever project.
Yeah, good idea from DeWester saying he thinks his Nest doorbell just got redesigned.
Oh, that's fun. There you go.
It'll be like a costume for your doorbell.
Sure. You thought what was real for a second?
Oh, I'm thinking the Doctor Strange thingy here.
Oh,
which I saw at Cast Connections.
oh, really?
It's just the POV. It's just
Right.
one strip or two strips of the tiny little
And they're
NeoPixels.
they're spinning.
It spins. Yeah, it's just on a little motor that spins.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, that'd be cool to kind of redo or to use somehow.
More use.
Yeah.
For making one, it'd be cool to make a big one, you know, because this one's like the size of your palm.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool though.
Okay. All right. Before I move on, if you want to pick up any of the parts that we talked about, you can use the coupon code Tombstone and get 10% off your order.
Oh no, we didn't post any of the links, so we usually do.
No, that's fine.
The GitHub stuff, the Fritzing stuff, playlists. Dang it.
It's fine.
All right, go ahead and move on to this week's Community Makes.
Yeah, we'll start with Timelapse Tuesday video.
Yeah, this week's Community Makes was a backup time lapse. Oops, am I muted?
No, you're good.
Oh, I have a little message here saying that.
I muted the video.
Oh, okay.
Just so it doesn't have the music.
Yeah, so this week is a lightsaber pool noodle handle.
Yeah, or sword, whatever kind of sword.
I think is what it's supposed to be. Yeah, this was a backup time lapse because the printer here that we use for doing the time lapse, it had a catastrophic clog where you have to disassemble the entire thing, like all the way down to the heat set, and take out the nozzle and the internal PETF tube that's inside right next to the nozzle. So luckily I already had this one printed out. It was supposed to come out when we did the lightsaber project, but what got bumped up instead. But it's a nice little handle. It has these nice little threads that fit these smaller pool noodles. This one's definitely not for a pool since the little LED and all that stuff is exposed right there. There's a little button that turns it on and off. But this is supposed to be for like the smaller diameter pool noodles that they have like at the dollar shops. Okay. And that just screws right in like that. There is two of them. But because I thought I wasn't going to use this project, both the kids have it, and I don't know where the other one is.
That's funny.
I was surprised I even found this.
Yeah, I've seen different versions of this. I saw one that was like a classic hilt from Star Wars, but this is like a more kind of like I don't know, like English style kind of, you know, what would you call it, like medieval or something style.
Yeah, there's a handle on it.
I didn't know that pool noodles had different sizes. They have like a smaller version.
Yeah, they have thinner ones. They have bigger ones. I think I used all the big ones for like the planter pots. Like
that's funny.
Sort of elevate the plants out.
Yeah.
Instead of using all that soil. But yeah, this is the smaller pool noodles. Well, it's kind of still summer out.
Right.
I didn't get the kids to beat each other up with these.
That's funny.
Not this one, obviously not the LED ones.
Right.
It's an excellent little print though.
All right, cool. I'm gonna share the
model. There's a bunch of different ways or models that can utilize the pool noodle. Such a versatile material here.
Yeah, it's a paid model. It's $1.75, but
scroll down a little bit. You can see like
there's some free ones.
Free ones. Yeah, that one with the handle is pretty cool. That one's free. And then the throwing star one's funny.
Throwing star. What else we have? Extra noodle axe.
There you go.
It's funny. Yeah, you can do a whole collection of noodle
weapons,
pool noodle accessories. Yeah, so pretty cool. Or you can make your own. It's just a cool inspiration. So yeah. This is designed by RWB Designs.
Oh wow, yeah, you could actually just grab it, stick it in Tinkercad, chop off everything but the thread, and glue on top, whatever shape.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Not glue, merge.
Yeah.
Combine.
Here up north in Massachusetts, we have what we call second summer. because like last week it was actually nice and cool. It was in the low 70s, high 60s, and then now we're back to like 90s, 80s.
Yeah, it was like
it's called second summer.
It was like 69 outside. Brandy was even wearing the jacket. He's like, "No, I know how your mom feels."
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like,
yeah, no, we got a second summer, so yeah.
Yep,
I think it matches the vibe. All right,
cool. I was
so that's this week's
to be cold.
Yeah, this week's Timelapse Tuesday. Very cool design. Check it out. Good idea. Next up, we have some community makes that were brought to our attention. First up, we have a unicorn horn that was posted up by Pulk. Pulk posted this up. It's our unicorn horn model, and he printed it in this silk gold from Azure film in base mode. Looks really nice. And then next up, we have another unicorn horn. This was posted up by 3D Creative on printables. They trimmed the bottom to remove the holes. They didn't really need them. Printed in base mode with 3 bottom layers, 0.4 nozzle, 0.8 line width. Takes about 9 grams of filament. It looks really good. Yeah, I love me a unicorn horn. Yeah, all sorts of fun uses for the unicorn horn. And then after that, we have a little wall charger for the Tesla car charging handles.
I think it's more universal now. It's like NACS, so it's for any car now.
Really, they all have like the standard.
They're all going to standardize, so
that's so good.
It's not called Tesla charging. NAC,
right?
NACS, something. I don't know.
Oh, the NAC. That's right.
NAC.
Yeah.
Yes.
The NAC. Yeah. I'm starting to see more people like Ford. They have adopted NAC.
Everyone has.
Everyone's basically going over, so they can start using the superchargers.
Those other ones are freaking silly, man. They're so. If you've actually used one,
they're huge. Yeah, they are. Yeah. So this is a great. Yeah. So.
Dual extruded, where you can just print the other little bolt, pop it in.
Yeah.
And there's 2 versions. There are ones that goes over like a shelf, so it can just clip right into the shelf, or you can mount it to a wall.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I did one for the wires too.
That's right. Yep. It's all on Fusion 360. You can modify it. It's all parametric as well. But shout out to Weber Yap, posted it up, gave it a nice rating. But yeah, you can mount it directly to your wall if you like. We like clipping it, but you can mount it as well. Cool. After that, we have a really cool remix of the Lightsaber RP2040. This user here remixed it. Daniel remixed it and made it into a flashlight. So they took the handle and added a rocker switch to the hilt, USB micro to the bottom of the pommel.
Nice.
And then I'm not sure what that is. Maybe some parts for to weigh it down or something. Maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me read the description here. It's a powerful flashlight in the shape of a lightsaber, using M2 screws, an LED, a rocker switch, an 18650 battery. Those are really nice batteries. A USB lithium ion charger, a step-up converter, and some wires. Applied some thermal paste. Oh wow, yeah, some thermal paste in between the LED.
Oh, it's to keep
epoxy glue attached to LED. Yeah. Caution, LED gets hot. Don't touch it. Yeah. Maybe that helps to disperse some of that heat.
Wow.
Maybe the PLA could get.
That is
very powerful.
Bright then, if you need to.
Yeah, it's very bright. Heat. yeah. Those LEDs can be pretty. 23 watt LED. It says here, so that's pretty gnarly.
Surprised there ain't no Star Wars branded flashlights like this.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, you can make your own. So shout out to Daniel for posting this up. It's a good remix. And then the last one to round off the segment. This is not of our project, but it's just a really cool project that uses Adafruit parts. This is from JD Irene on printables. They call it the Key Tickler Adafruit Macro Pad. So it's using the Adafruit Macro Pad and 2 1x4 Stemma QT Neo keys.
Oh, nice.
And the Adafruit rotary QT encoders to make this really awesome, fully featured
plug and play
macro pad.
Man.
Yeah, all the LEDs shine really nice. It's got like everything you'd like. So it's good, like kind of like a console kind of for your like a stream box kind of thing. Pretty cool. Yeah. So if you want something similar, check it out. I really like the case here. It's a really nice design, and the knobs and everything's printed.
The way it's glowing.
Yeah, the way it's glowing looks sick. So looks like it's in Fusion.
Oh, I love the framing for mounting everything.
Yeah, right. Like the frame. Yeah, it's really nice design. So we're gonna post about it on the Adafruit blog. But it looks like all this STLs. Oh, and the Fusion 360 file. So that's huge. Super modifiable then.
Did you have this pinned? I already posted, or I have it pinned like already scheduled for posting.
It's scheduled. Yeah, it's scheduled to blog. Really nice.
We weren't double blogging it, which
no.
This one's kind of worth double blogging about.
Sure, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so shout out to JD Irene. There's Scooby Doo in the background. Scooby. Very cool project. Yep. And that's the segment. That's Community Makes.
Awesome. Right on time.
We're right on time.
See you quick.
Also,
don't
forget coupon code today. It's, Tombstone, get you 10% off.
So I'll have another coupon code later tonight. Actually, no, we won't.
Yeah.
No accident.
We'll have one tomorrow though on JP's workshop.
Yes.
So you can check that. So that's about it.
That is it. Just looking at the comments here. Yep. Dual color for the horn is super awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
I think that is it.
Yeah. All right. Well, just as a programming note, no Ask an Engineer tonight, but we still have show and tell. So come on at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and all the channels. We'll post a link on Discord, so you can join. I think we'll see DJ Devin on. I'll probably just watch this tonight. And yeah, I think Liz or JP will be hosting while Lamar and Phil get ready for their stuff.
Yes.
Lady Ada had a stream yesterday with Tom's Hardware.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, she's talking about her experiences with the ChatGPT to write some libraries for Arduino. Yeah. We have JP's workshop tomorrow. That's Thursday, and then we have a deep dive with either Tim or Scott. So yeah, we still got some shows throughout the week. From the Desk of Lady Ada, live streams happen on Sundays. You can check those out.
Did you see the Ahsoka episode?
I haven't yet. I'm gonna watch it later tonight. Yeah, it's a good one. I guess.
Kind of weird with space whales.
Space whales. Oh man, don't spoil it. All right. Well,
my mouth. Oh
wow. All right. Well,
what do they have baleen teeth for?
I don't know, but what are you talking about? All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, remember,
don't forget to make a
great day. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tonight.